For better living, are you feeling good tonight? This thing got me thinking of life.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing the tribal braids and beads. As you can see, my client has really coarse 4C hair, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I was able to work with her hair texture to create the beautiful tribal braids with square parts. I normally do the upside down U part, but I decided to try something new, and I actually really loved the turnout. So it was really cute. So first things first, I'm just going to be sectioning off the front part of her hair where the cornrow is going to be. I'm just going to section that off and just take my my clips and just clip that out of the way. And then for the actual box braids part, I'm just going to be making a horizontal line in the nape of her hair, and then I'm just going to be creating a little like box parting, just taking my rat tail comb and parting that horizontal hair into vertical parts to create the little boxes, and then just applying a little bit of jam. I'm just going to be applying that around the perimeter of her hair. What that's going to do is allow me to grab the base of her natural hair and create a very smooth base transition at the bottom, so that way the hair looks really nice and neat. So just apply a little bit of that and then insert your braiding hair. Now for this particular hair tutorial, I'm going to be using EZ Braids, and I think we used about 6 packs of these. Not even up to 6 packs actually. I think we bought like 2 packs, and then in each pack it was like 3, and I'm really trying to do the math, but we probably used like, let's say we used 5. Yeah, that makes more sense because we had like 1 more extra left. But yeah, we used 5, and don't forget to use the jam generously because it's gonna help you kind of hide her natural hair inside the braiding hair, and yeah, it just looks really neat. So yeah, don't forget to just do that vertical slice, and just make sure that each box is kind of like similar in density as the next one. So you don't want one box to be bigger than the other. Just do your best to make them all like as even as possible. If it's easier for you, you can part each boxes, so that way it's not, you don't overestimate how much hair you have, if you know what I mean. So just like pre-section it, so that way you know exactly what you're going to be working with. So this is where it starts to look really cool. So after you've done your horizontal line on the next level, you create your box on the far, like the human head is kind of shaped where like the back is like smaller, and it gets kind of like wider at the middle, and it gets wider at the top. So like naturally you're gonna have like one braid that's going to be on the right hand side of where you created that bottom braid, so it's going to naturally create a window formation, and you guys will see what I mean in a little bit. So that's what makes these boxes really cool, because you can really get some cool designs by doing the window formation. Now if you don't know what a window formation is, it's a pattern where you have one box braids in between the space of 2 box braids, so it falls perfectly in the middle or perfectly on the side. It never falls directly on top of each other. That's why we call it the window formation, because it's like an open space and it falls right in between the window, you know. I'm gonna show you guys right now. So this is where I'm talking about. So you see that space right in between those two bottom braids, that's the window formation. You want it to fall right on there. So when you do the third layer on top, you're gonna make sure that it also falls right in between those two braids we're about to create. So that way you continue the window formation all through. What this is gonna do is, if you're able to keep this up all through the top of her hair is gonna appear fuller, it's gonna appear thicker, there's not gonna be awkward gaps, you know. Her hair is just gonna look really, really nice and full and just look beautiful. So do your best. Of course, you can practice, always helps. You know, this is like my second time doing the square parting, and yeah, the first time I did it, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I was kind of biased about these for a while, so I'm actually really glad I tried something new, because it was definitely worth it. And I hope you guys as stylists do open your minds to different things. Okay, so for the front part, we're going to be doing 2 braids coming to the side of her face. Now for this, we're not going to be doing the regular fitting method. We're going to be doing the Ghana braids method. And the difference with the Ghana braids method is that you're not leaving hair out. So you're braiding the hair along with it, and it's all about the placements, right? So when you add the hair, you add one to where your hand's already braiding, and then you pick the other end with, you know, just braiding like you're braiding the person's hair, if that makes sense. Like you don't leave the left hand side out, you just kind of braid it along with the hair, but you add hair, you make the hair bigger as you go. Like let's say after you've gotten the thickness that you want, then you can start reducing the size of braids that you add. And I'll show you guys better when we get to the actual top, where we do the real cornrows, so you understand what I'm saying a little bit better. But yeah, the reason I love this method for 4C hair is that you're able to hide the natural hair inside of the cornrows. So for the middle part, you know, we always do that one braid going down the center of her hair. How you can make sure you have the most precise parting is just making sure that it falls right in between her brows. Just do one part that's kind of off-centered, and then do another line that's kind of off-centered, but just make sure that the section is like falls right in between the eyebrows. So if you have to take your time just to kind of look in the mirror to make sure that it's really, really centered, do that. So I like to add a little bit of jam just to make it a little smoother to braid with. But yeah, just taking that. And what I always like to do with these Ghana braids, I love to start with the natural hair. I never just start off with braiding hair like that, because sometimes that can be bad for your hairline. Especially with smaller braids like this, you want to make sure you start with your natural hair, and then you add pieces of hair that are very, very tiny. You always take a very, very tiny piece of hair. You never just add a huge chunk, as you know, right at the bat. You have to take like little pieces at a time and gradually increase the size of the piece of hair. So when you've gotten to the thickness, how you want the hair to, you know, if you're looking for medium size braids, you wanna just kind of, it's kind of hard to explain, you guys. This is really, it's really not easy. Like that's why I bite my tongue a lot when I'm talking, because I'm trying to find the right words. But when you're adding hair, when you've gotten to the size that you desire, just reduce the size of hair you add. Just add like very, very little pieces, and you guys will see in a minute. I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. So I'm getting to the point where it's like I don't want to add too much hair, because when I get to the roots of the braids, it's gonna be too thick. So I'm gonna show you guys what I do. So hold on, you guys, you gotta bear with me. So right here is where I got to the thickness that I wanted. So you're gonna see I started reducing the size. I went back to the original size that I started with. See, the hair pieces get smaller and smaller as I get to the back. So when I started, it's small, and then when I get to the middle, it increases, and then when I get to the end, I reduce the hair. So it doesn't just go from small to large, it goes from small to large to small. Get it? But yeah, so right now I'm just taking out the piece of hair that I don't want to add or braid. So just take like a little jam or whatever and secure that out of the way, because you don't want to pull your client's hair, and plus let's just be real, hair looks cuter when you have baby hairs, you know, laid out. So yeah, so we're gonna be doing the parting slightly curved because we want it to kind of angle towards that center braids we created. And we're just gonna repeat the same step that we did in the middle braids. Just gonna do the same thing, start off with a braid, and I'm gonna show you guys a trick. And your hand positioning matters a lot with this kind of hairstyle. You see how I'm braiding the hair upwards, like I'm not angling my hands and like braiding the hair like sideways, because when you do that, what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up pulling the hair. So when you braid upwards, your hair is gonna land literally at the root. So it's gonna land at the root. So see those two fingers that I have, my left fingers that are literally placed at the base of her hair? You see how they're angled? It's kind of pushing down, but not like with a lot of pressure, just slightly pushing down, giving me that control at the base. And you can see when I braid, it's like when I move my hand, I'm moving it upwards. I'm not moving it to the side, to the back. I'm literally moving it upwards. Kind of pay attention to that when you're doing cornrows. Sometimes it makes all the difference in terms of like tension on the hair one, and getting your cornrows to the roots, getting it to stay to the roots. So keep that in mind. I think that's a huge tip. Write that down. But yeah, just continue to add hair, and like I said, when you get to the bottom, just add very little pieces of hair, you know, or none, you know, if you don't need it, but just a little FYI. So you start with smaller pieces, gradually increase, and then you go back to smaller pieces. So we pretty much are just going to repeat the same process all through the hair. I'm going to speed through the rest of this because this video is going to be quite long, because you guys are getting a 2-for-1 special parting and cornrows. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys at the end when we dip the hair in hot water. Oh, and by the way, we're going to Cancun. This is my friend, by the way, Joyce, and we're going to Cancun like literally when you're watching this video tomorrow. So it's gonna be so much fun. I will probably post a picture or two on my community board, so make sure you are subscribed if you haven't, so that way we can like chat on there. I think it's really cool because it's kind of like Facebook, what do you call it, Facebook feed, but you know, for YouTube. And I think it's a really cool way to kind of like connect with you guys. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys when we dip the hair in hot water. what it should look like. You see the effect that it has? It just has a more like polished look to your cornrows. That's why I love the Ghana braids technique. It just has a completely different vibe. And don't get me wrong, I love the fitting method, but Ghana braids just has a whole new vibe, especially with cornrows. It just looks so much neater, especially when working with coarser hair texture. I think Ghana braids is definitely the way to go because it's able to just like give it a more polished look without you stressing out the natural hair. But yeah, so anyways, so make sure you wrap your clients up. We're just going to be taking her in hot water, and I'm going to be taking some mousse and applying that to the base of the cornrows as well as a little bit of the braids. And then what I'm going to do is, just lay the baby hairs real quick, and I'm using my Cream of Nature argan oil to just kind of lay her baby hairs. And I love the way her hair lays because I don't know, it was so easy for me to slick down, and I'm so glad we left out some baby hairs because it really like gave it its own vibe. So it was cute. But yeah, so don't forget to cut off any like stray hairs that you might see hanging loose. Take your time with your baby hair and just have fun with it. This is like definitely vacation hair for sure, so we definitely hit the mark on that. I got my braids too, so I'll definitely post some pictures of my braids. You kind of see a little sneak peek, when I sneak my hair too far up the camera. But yeah, I was just I'm so glad. I can't wait to get some pictures in. I got my swimsuit. I can't wait. This is like the first thing I'm doing all summer, so like I'm really like excited. I've been telling everybody all week. But anyway, so I'm just gonna be wrapping her hair, and I'm gonna be applying like my silk rag, and then I'm gonna put her under the dryer so that way it can set a little bit and just lay it really nice and flat, and there's no like awkward hang time. And while she's under the dryer, I proceeded on to add in some beads. I love bigger beads because it just has a more mature look to them. I feel like those smaller ones are a little bit too kiddish and childish a little bit, so I like the big ones. Anyway, so when you take her out of the dryer, just make sure you undo your do-rag, and of course cut that wrap that we have on her edges. And yeah, voila, you're done. You're good to go. This is the hairstyle. Make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up if you love this look. I absolutely love it. I think she rocked it, and I can't wait to post pictures and all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in my next video. Have a merry day and God bless.